Hey, good morning. It is Thursday, the 19th of September, 2024. This is Wes Fryer with another Wisdom with Wes episode. I want to talk about having my mind blown with AI. So, I've been playing and using AI for months now. And I've had multiple experiences that have just caused goosebumps on my arms, literally, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I can't believe that this happened. Yesterday, I was looking at LinkedIn and I saw Ethan Mollick's post. Mollick is a professor. He is one of the most prolific writers and experts about artificial intelligence, specifically in higher ed, but in education overall. And he had posted an audio podcast that he had made using a tool called Google's NotebookLM. And this is a tool that I have played with and used before. And he uploaded his book, which I definitely want to read. I haven't read it yet. And I think some other resources. And it created an audio summary. I was stunned. I think I listened to 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, but it definitely less than 2 minutes of it. It was incredible. Just like, this idea, Malcolm Gladwell of Blink, where we form these perceptions quickly about people, and there's a lot that we just sort of intuit sometimes in situations. This was a Blink moment for me where I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, because there are two voices, a male and a female voice. There was no indication to me that this was generated by an algorithm, that this was not human. The level of analysis and the discussion, the interplay, the ways in which the two people spoke, all of it just seemed so realistic. All right, so that was sometime during the day yesterday when I was not teaching. Last night, Jason Neiffer, who's up in Missoula, Montana, he is my buddy. We've recorded 335 podcasts together. Because we have this podcast show almost every week called the EdTech Situation Room. And I will link to these in the description of this YouTube video so you can check these out. I shared this story with Jason and he said yes, because he's been playing with this. And he, during our show, I think had uploaded his dissertation and played this audio summary of his dissertation, which is a conversational podcast between these two algorithmic voices that sound absolutely human and absolutely believable. And it's uncannily on topic. It's on point. So after our show last night, our shows start at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we went an hour and 15 minutes last night, so we stopped at about 10:15 my time. I decided I wanted to show this to Shelly. I hadn't done this before. So I revisited a research paper that I wrote in 1991 as a senior at the Air Force Academy. I took 27 hours of courses, 9 courses my senior year of the academy, which was not a smart thing, and I do not recommend that you do that because there were some negative, that didn't all work out for me. I had to retake a class. I got a B the next time I retook the class. That's a different story. But this particular class, the History of Military Thought, was taught by Professor Showalter, who was a visiting professor from Colorado College, an absolutely incredible historian and professor, one of the most incredible minds in academia that I have ever had the privilege of being in the room with for an entire semester. I wrote a paper about the United States POW MIA ethic and its violation, because in the course of my research for that class, and I've been looking into this since I was actually a sophomore at the academy, we didn't bring all of our prisoners home at the end of the Vietnam War. And they all weren't in Vietnam either. They were in Laos, they were in Cambodia, right? We had secret wars that were going on that were against, international law, and Nixon, we had Operation Homecoming that happened in February of 1973. And then a couple months later, Nixon had to resign, and, Saigon fell in 75. And we have soldiers, prisoners of war, U.S. servicemen that never came home. And it's a really dark chapter of our history. Okay, so I just took that paper, which is still online. I've maintained a website since I could make a website in like the mid 90s, I think 95, maybe it was even earlier than that. It was around there, 94, 95. That was when I first started getting on the internet and had a web page and all this. I've maintained this website about the POW issue for a long time. I took that paper. I went to Google LM. I created a new project. I uploaded the paper and I clicked this button that said audio summary. And in a few minutes, it was less than 5 minutes, this audio podcast was created that sounds like two real people who for about 8 minutes unwrap and discuss my paper. It's amazing. They do an excellent job unwrapping, reviewing, summarizing, and commenting on the key ideas of my paper. It's really kind of a wild thing I wrote that 33 years ago, and I will include a link. I'm going to publish this video today, and the video right before this was that audio podcast. I love playing with media. That was the name of my first book. I love creating media. I think it's wonderful to be able to take an audio recording, put a picture with it, and share it as a video on YouTube. And so that's what I did. I downloaded a WAV format of that file. I airdropped it from my laptop over here to my phone. I opened up the free app, Voice Record Pro. I got a picture of the POW MIA flag, put it into the file, exported it as a video, put it on YouTube, wrote a blog post, and put it on. Okay? These are the things I do for fun. It's unbelievable, folks. My mind is blown. The fact that you or I, for free, okay, maybe Google will charge for this at some point, but Google LM is free. You and I can take any document that we want to. In this case, it's a paper that I wrote, but it could be anything, okay? Because this powerful tools have multiple sides, right? Good and bad. And we can then create, in the matter of a few minutes, a very realistic podcast that can then be shared, and you can do all kinds of things with it. This can be incredibly constructive. It's amazingly powerful. It's uncannily human-like. But if you think about, and Jason mentioned this, and I totally agree in our show last night, accessibility. How do we as teachers provide access to the ideas that we're talking about with students? Certainly we can create our own materials, and I do, and I curate materials and I design lessons, but being able to take, for instance, several documents that you want students to listen to, or you want them to watch, read, listen to, consume, okay, media. The model that I used this summer and last spring for my Teaching the Conspiracies micro-credential class and mini course that I have been offering through the Media Education Lab. I've done this with required media that you need to read or listen to or watch, and then optional media. I'm so energized as a teacher today in September of 2024, thinking about how these tools are going to not only help me learn better, or can help me learn better, but they can help me help my students learn better. And it just blows my mind. I've talked about Descript before, and I mentioned that in the little blog post as well. I've used Descript the past couple months, Descript.com, to create it's with their AI tools called Overlord, to create transcripts of interviews, oral histories in English, but also in French, because our daughter went to France a few years ago, and I showed her this and tried this, and she's asked me, because I'm paying a little subscription fee to do this for another file for her, and it's incredible how accurate it is, how quickly we can create these things. And even if we're going to use this as a rough draft and then edit it further, I used a script Sunday night for a podcast that my wife and I recorded for Wes and Shelley Share, our 29th episode, Fall Memories and Traditions, or Fall Traditions and Memories. And it made this, incredible, it made this extremely accurate written transcript of our conversation. Just incredible. So AI, mind blown. You need to play with these AI tools. I need to keep playing with them. I played with Google LM last night and it blew my mind. So I'll include links in the description of this video so you can read more and follow up. This is a Wisdom with Wes episode. I do these periodically, usually before school like this. Sitting here on the bench before I walk to class and teach my kids. Teaching computer programming today at 8:15, and I gotta go get ready. I hope you have a great day.